Hello and welcome to day 29 of my 31 Days of Horror. Today I watched the Fright Night remake from 2011. Now you may have noticed in my video for the 1985 Fright Night, I was a little negative towards it. Now that's because I love Fright Night. It's one of my favorite 1980s horror movies, vampire movies. It's one of my favorites. And I knew I was going to come across as a fanboy, and I thought the best way to go about that would be to point out the flaws. And ultimately I regret doing that because those things that can be interpreted as flaws make me love the movie more. I love the original Fright Night, and I really enjoy Fright Night Part 2, maybe just as much as the original. And, to my surprise, I really enjoyed the Fright Night remake. I'm going to start out with the positives. It really seemed like whoever made this movie really understood Fright Night. Perhaps he was a fan, or perhaps he realized how to make a good remake. For the most part, I feel like everyone was casted well. David Tennant was a perfect choice for Peter Vincent. And I really liked the direction they took with the Peter Vincent character. I really like the actor they chose for Charlie Brewster. He's not like the original, but like he really didn't need to be. And when I first heard that Colin Firth was going to play Jerry the Vampire, I have to admit I was a little skeptical. But after seeing the movie, I really liked his portrayal of Jerry. It was great. I thought he was hilarious when he needed to be, and he was threatening when he needed to be. Just what that character needed. The girl who plays Amy is pretty much forgettable, and unfortunately, Evil Ed was horribly miscast. I don't hate this actor, I know some people do. Evil Ed was not only miscast, but he was written wrong. I understood this movie was trying to take an opposite approach, like everything they did in the original they tried to do the opposite of. But in this case, it just didn't work, at least not for me. To me, Evil Ed should be an annoying jerk. And they just kind of made him a wormy little dweeb. And I just didn't like it. It's something that bothers me. It bothered me when I first saw it, and it bothers me now. I think it was a bad move, but it overall doesn't detract from the whole movie. It bothers me. Now there's some things in this that are probably going to date the movie, but that's not to say that the original movie's not dated. I mean, the disco sequence? Come on, guys. One of the biggest problems of this movie are things I think the studio forced upon the filmmakers to put in the movie. For instance, there's this totally unnecessary subplot that just gets crammed in at the last minute about how Peter Vincent's parents were killed by a vampire, and oh, he just happens to be Jerry the Vampire. It's really unnecessary, and it doesn't really add anything to the movie. It just seems like something that the studio is like, we need all the characters invested in this somehow. Oh, they all need to be connected. It says, I don't know, his parents are killed by the vampire. That's why he's there. Another thing I think the studio forced onto the movie was the whole aspect of the whole world being in jeopardy by Jerry the Vampire. I like that it was a smaller story in the original. In this one, the whole world's in jeopardy. It just feels so forced. And I don't really like it. And the biggest problem I have with this movie is the CGI. Now, if you watch my channel, you know that I complain about CGI a lot. But if there is any movie that didn't need CGI, or the CGI is just plain horrible, it is this movie. There's a scene in the original Fright Night where Amy turns around and reveals herself to be a vampire. The prosthetic makeup on her face is an iconic image of Fright Night. In this remake, they tried to do that sequence, but with CGI. Now, I remember seeing this in the theater, and this was a pretty jumpy theater from what I recall. When they reveal her vampire creepy smile, the poster image of Fright Night, the theater broke out in laughter. Matter of fact, many times when the vampires revealed their CGI faces, the theater I was at did laugh. And to say this is bad CGI is an understatement. It is almost hilarious how bad the CGI is. I just don't understand why you would use so much CGI in a remake of a movie that is loved and embraced for its practical effects and makeup. All in all, I really do like this remake. I think it's decent at best, and a lot of my reservations toward it are out of nostalgia for the original. I would always pick the original over this movie, but I find myself liking this movie nonetheless. Hey guys, please check out my Manos Remake Facebook page. I'm trying to make my own movie, and I need as much support as I can get. We're going to be launching an Indiegogo on February 1st of 2015 with a goal of $30,000. Thank you for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you tomorrow in day 30 of my 31 Days of Horror.